it was the late delivery of the government amendment. I welcome the fact that the government has decided to bring forward this bill to extend the length of time in which these tax reductions and other supports will be in place. However, whilst I agree in principle with the extension of the taxes, I do take major issue with the way in which the government has decided to reapply the excise duty reductions on fuel. This is technical, Minister, so I would hope that you'd listen intensely. The area is dealt with in Section 2 of the bill. The explanatory memorandum says that Section 2 provides for an extension to the current VAT inclusive per litre reductions of 21 cent in respect of petrol, 16 cent in respect of diesel and 5.4 cent in respect of marked gas oil, which were due to expire on the 28th February 23. On the 1st of June, the rates will be restored by 6 cent for petrol, 5 cent for diesel and 1 cent on motor gas oil. And these rates will be in place until the 1st of September this year, when the rates will increase by a further 7 cent, 5 cent and 1 cent per litre for each petrol, diesel and motor gas oil respectively. The remaining balance of the reductions, amounting to 8 cent for petrol, 6 cent for diesel and 3.4 cent for MGO, will be restored on the 21st of October. Now, here we have a bill before us today claiming that the reductions were 21 cent for petrol, 16 cent for diesel and 5.4 cent for marked gas oil. This appears to be at odds with a government press release dated the 9th of March 2022, which said the following: excise duty will reduce by 20 cent per litre of petrol, 15 cent per litre of diesel, and there will also be a reduction of 2 cent in the excise duty charged on marked gas oil. These reductions will take effect from midnight tonight and will remain in place until the 31st of August. There are many people, Lascion Corla, who would look at this and conclude that the government are trying to pull a fast one and increase the excise duty by more than it was reduced. So what I'm asking, Minister, is that in the case of the government trying to cod the people, if it is or it isn't, we need an explanation and clarity. It's very important that you would address this in your closing remarks. Further to this, I have received correspondence and it states on the 1st of the 1st 24, we have an increase in the price of base product of 3.89 cent plus VAT, which is a total of 4.79 cent on diesel and 4.59 cent plus VAT, or 5.65 cent increase on petrol, due to the content of biofuel or an alternative fuel diesel being added to diesel product, which has taken no account of the percentage into the litre. The other issue, and being taxed as if it's diesel. The other issue I wish to raise in relation to this excise bill is HVO, hydrogenated vegetable oil, of which you'll be very familiar with, Minister. And it's a matter that I've raised before, but it's certainly worth highlighting again. Hydrogenated vegetable oil is a low-carbon fuel, and it's obtained by processing different substances. It has similar chemical and physical properties to diesel, but it's fossil-free and low-carbon in comparison. It can be blended and used in any portion with diesel or on its own in a traditional diesel engine. But there are a couple of reasons why this fuel source is not more widely available. It's currently more expensive to produce and buy than ordinary diesel, and some studies have shown that consumption is slightly higher. Currently, the production of the type of crops necessary to produce this fuel type are insufficient, and the government needs to make the fuel source tax-free in order to help make the price of it more competitive and drive demand. The market in turn will react by producing more of the crops necessary and helping to support the agricultural sector as well. It's amazing that the use of this fuel source has not been incentivised more by this government. In fact, even if someone decides to use a higher proportion of HVO in their fuel, the government will still charge the full carbon tax, even though their carbon emissions are greatly reduced by the level of HVO content, if the level of HVO content in the fuel increases. The government likes to refer to a just transition, but when it comes to climate-related issues such as hydrogenated vegetable oil being fossil-free, well, I'm afraid what I've just outlined doesn't sound like just transition. So, Minister, I'd ask in your closing statement that you would address those issues. Thank you.